Well, Hollywood has lost one of its tough guys, Michael Madsen, whose turn...
Hey, what's going on? You hear that?
The actor, who had more than 300 credits to his name, was found dead at his Malibu home overnight.
Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right, here
Michael Madsen wasn't just a movie star. He was a walking storm of quiet madness, a dangerous calm that could snap at any second. From shocking rumors of leaked scripts that nearly ruined his career to viral moments of public clashes and wild interviews, his life was as unpredictable as his roles. With that crooked smile and icy stare, he made villains unforgettable and heroes uneasy. Now, at 67, that madness has finally gone silent. But the wild legacy he leaves behind? It's more shocking than anyone expected. Michael Madsen, dead at 67. The words hit like a punch to the gut. This wasn't just another actor passing away. This was the death of a presence. Someone who carried a kind of raw, magnetic danger on screen that Hollywood doesn't make anymore. No tabloid drama, no drawn-out illness. Just the sudden end of a life built on grit, rebellion, and pure cinematic soul. Social media lit up within minutes. Tributes flooded in from actors, directors, and fans who had grown up watching him slice through Reservoir Dogs, disappear into the dust of Kill Bill, or brood quietly in The Hateful Eight. But behind every tribute was something deeper. Grief for a man who stood for something more than stardom. He was messy, intense, unapologetically himself, the kind of actor who didn't fit the mold and never tried to. And now, with his voice silenced, people are finally asking, what did Michael Madsen really leave behind? Because his legacy might be even bigger than the man himself. Michael Madsen didn't just act, he loomed. His breakout role as Mr. Blonde in Quentin Tarantino's Reservoir Dogs didn't just make people notice, it made them uneasy. The ear-cutting scene alone became one of the most chilling moments in modern cinema. Not because it was gory, but because Madsen made it personal. Calm, smiling, dancing to music while delivering terror. But that role was just the beginning. Beneath the violence, there was always something deeper, a strange tenderness that flickered through the rage. You could see it in Kill Bill Volume 2, when his character Bud quietly admits, "That woman deserves her revenge, and we deserve to die." Few actors could make that line sound like both a confession and a prayer. Outside of Tarantino's films, Madsen brought the same quiet fire to roles in Donnie Brasco, The Getaway, and Sin City. And while Hollywood often cast him as the tough guy, he was never one-dimensional. He wrote poetry, he published 4 books of short stories. His words revealed a man haunted by his past and in love with storytelling. Michael Madsen didn't just play broken men, he was one, and he made it beautiful. If there was one person who truly understood Michael Madsen, it was Quentin Tarantino. Their connection went beyond director and actor. It was more like two obsessive movie nerds who spoke the same cinematic language. Tarantino didn't just cast Madsen, he resurrected him, again and again. From Reservoir Dogs to Kill Bill to The Hateful Eight, Quentin gave Madsen roles that weren't just performances, they were reflections of his soul. And Madsen knew it. In one emotional moment, he said, "There should be a sword that says, 'From me to Quentin, the only man I ever loved.'" That wasn't a line from a movie, that was real. Their relationship was complicated, at times strained. There were rumors Madsen had fallen out with Quentin, even accusations online that he owed him money. The internet ran wild with it. But when the phone rang unexpectedly one day, and Madsen answered to hear, "Hey Mike, it's Quentin," the past melted away. Just like that. Because Quentin always came back for him. Whether it was a new script, a second chance, or a last-minute rewrite, Madsen was part of his cinematic DNA. And Tarantino? He saw in Madsen what no one else in Hollywood did. Not just a killer, but a poet. It was supposed to be his next big moment. Quentin Tarantino had written The Hateful Eight, a brutal western filled with suspicion, snow, and betrayal. And of course, Michael Madsen had a part, until everything went sideways. The script leaked online before production began. Tarantino was furious and publicly stated that only 3 people had received the full draft: Tim Roth, Bruce Dern, and Michael Madsen. And just like that, the internet turned on him. Accusations flooded his inbox. "Traitor! You ruined it!" One meme even photoshopped Madsen handing the script to Edward Snowden. Even his own son asked him, "Dad, why did you do it?" But here's the truth. He didn't leak it, and Quentin knew it. Still, the damage was done. Madsen begged Tarantino to clear his name publicly. Quentin, ever the showman, had another plan. Instead of backing down, he staged a live reading of the leaked script at the Mary Pickford Theater and cast Madsen as Joe Gage. No explanations, no statements, just action. For Madsen, it was redemption, but also a glimpse into how fragile that trust really was. He didn't just survive the scandal, he used it to deliver one of the most haunting performances of his career. Because Michael Madsen didn't need to defend himself, he let the work do that for him. Behind the dark shades and growling voice was a man constantly at war with himself. Michael Madsen never pretended to be perfect. He had a rough start, tangled relationships, and a deep disdain for the Hollywood system. He once said, "I'm no theater actor. I need to be in motion." And that wasn't just about acting. It was about life. Standing still meant facing demons he'd rather outrun. There were moments when he almost disappeared from the spotlight entirely. Parts dried up, the phone stopped ringing, the industry didn't know what to do with someone like him. Too raw, too unpredictable, too real. But instead of spiraling out, he started to write. Short stories, poems, pages full of bruised memories and restless reflections. He wasn't trying to impress anyone. He was just trying to survive. And those pages? They revealed a man far more sensitive, thoughtful, and wounded than any of his characters ever let on. Tarantino knew it. That's why, when writing The Hateful Eight, he gave Joe Gage the quiet mystery of a writer. He told Madsen, "I did that because you're a writer, Michael." That was his redemption arc. Not in public apologies or shiny awards, but in the small, honest ways he kept his soul alive, even when the spotlight dimmed. Sometimes a prop becomes more than just wardrobe. It becomes identity. For Madsen, it was a white Stetson he wore during Kill Bill rehearsals. Quentin hated it, told him to lose it, cut the hair, drop the hat. Madsen refused. Then something changed. After weeks of showing up in that hat, Quentin gave in. "Now, I can't picture you without it." Later, Tarantino wrote a scene where Bud is forced to remove that hat, and in that moment, the character transformed. Vulnerable, human, real. Madsen didn't want to take it off. But when he did, something shifted. He wasn't just playing Bud anymore. He was Bud. That one scene gave the character unexpected depth and proved that sometimes the smallest choices hold the most power. Michael Madsen wasn't just another tough guy actor. He was the last of his kind. Brutal yet poetic, fierce yet sensitive. His performances carved a unique space in Hollywood history. He gave life to characters who felt real, flawed, dangerous, and unforgettable. Lines like, "That woman deserves her revenge, and we deserve to die," didn't just land, they echoed. With his passing, Hollywood loses more than a star. It loses a storyteller who blurred the line between myth and man. No one will fill that space quite like Michael Madsen. Michael Madsen's death marks the end of an era, a time when actors didn't just play roles, they lived them. His story is one of grit, loyalty, and undeniable talent that defied Hollywood's rules. But beyond the movies and the myths, he reminds us that even the toughest exteriors hide stories of struggle and resilience. As fans, we don't just remember the characters he played. We remember the man who made those characters unforgettable. And that legacy, it's immortal.